Hello everyone.
Oh, we're back, by the way.
We're back.
And we're bad. You're black and I'm mad.
What?
You get it.
What do you do?
Oops. It's a lethal,
You're white
it's a lethal
and I'm
weapon.
crazy.
It's a lethal weapon.
Whatever.
It's like I'm Mel Gibson.
Whatever.
People get it. You're not an 80s child. Well, you are, but you didn't see that one, obviously. Anyway.
Salt.
Salt.
We're talking about salt today. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. We are having a great weekend. We've been to the market.
Yeah, Saturday.
And we're just enjoying life, really. We've been taking a bit of leave,
Haven't done one for a while, so it's time to get back on track.
We're back now, and we have lots of things lined up for you. You just watch the space, and you will enjoy our talks more.
All right, so what are we talking about today, Angela?
Salt, dietary salt.
No, salt's bad for you. You shouldn't eat it. Or should you?
Dietary salt is
Why were you going to talk about salt? Why is salt important?
What is salt? What is salt? What does it do? Why is it essential for the body?
Is it bad for you? Isn't it bad for you? So that's what we're going to talk about today and discover that a bit. I've got some patients that are on zero salt diets, and I think that's a bit of a problem. And this perception that salt is not good for you and you shouldn't eat it, I find very strange and a bit unusual. So we're going to discuss some of the theories today and give a brief overview of what we think about salt, what I think about salt. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you have it? Should you not have it? And where do you get it from? And why is it useful?
Yeah, because many people think I should stay away from eating salt.
Yeah.
But there are really different types of salts. Is it good salts and bad salts, isn't it?
Exactly.
Sodium.
Yeah, exactly.
In...
So everyone talks about sodium. Now, salt in the base form, where you get salt from really should be from the ocean or from what used to be lakes, and that's what pink Himalayan salt is once upon a time. So salt is full of minerals, right? This is the thing that people don't necessarily understand. And there's 84 minerals in salt. When you mine it from the ocean,
really?
It's like the ultimate multi-mineral complex.
Oh wow!
So what they do is that they strip off all the nutrition, and they get rid of all the goodness in salt. Right, all the magnesium goes, the iron goes, the boron goes, the silica goes, phosphorus, potassium, everything's in there to begin with, and then you end up with a very refined salt, and all that you're left with is sodium and chloride. So if you get rid of 82 minerals, right, and you just leave the sodium and the chloride...
I'm pretty sure they don't get rid of all of it.
Well, they do.
Probably
that's all that's really is left.
Oh, really?
That's the difference, and so that's what crappy table salt is, and that's what the salt in processed foods is, because sodium chloride just gives salt a salty taste. It tastes like salt, but there's no substance to it. And then it does cause lots of problems. It does harden arteries and raise blood pressure.
What are the best salts to eat, like sodium? What is it called? Sodium?
Sodium, yes, is an electrolyte. Yeah. So it's one of the many elements found in salt.
Okay.
And if you like anything, if you take away the vast majority of the nutrition and you just leave a little bit of it, and then you have that in high quantities, well, then you're going to get into trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
So salt is not to be feared, and salt is actually a very good, healthy thing to have. But it's got to be an unrefined salt. So when, salt that comes out of the ocean, really, if you dry salt water, or you have pink Himalayan salt.
Pink Himalayan salt.
Then it has all the nutrition in, and it doesn't cause health issues.
I think
if you have it in moderation.
Yeah, I think when you go to the shops, it's very confusing because you see all these salts: sea salts, cooking salt, table salt.
Yeah.
People get confused. What exactly are you buying? I would think just a plain sea salt. Is that what
exactly?
What
That's really the best stuff. So, but people don't tend to buy that, right? And salt's so cheap. People quite often go for the cheapest, crappiest salt. This one's
the
pretty
most
good.
expensive, creepy.
Example, this is Saxa. It might be backwards, but anyway, this is a very common salt we have in Australia, and this is okay in a cooking form if you're going to have it, and this is naturally evaporated sea salt. So there's a green one that they have, which has got added iodine in it, but most Saxa salt is actually not very good quality.
We are not done talking Saxa.
We are a little bit, yeah, we are. Yeah, we definitely are. So, I mean, they put, that's a good example, right? So the green one that everyone knows in Australia, right, has the iodine put in. Now, the iodine was there to start with, right? So they took that out. And then iodine is very important for the thyroid organ in your neck here. So if you have
so that is
salt,
found in good salts or whatever salt.
it's already in salt to begin with.
Yeah,
but they remove it when they refine it,
yeah.
along with the iron and the molybdenum and the manganese and the magnesium and the boron and all the other kind of elements that are in there.
Yeah.
And so you think it's pretty clever just to put the iodine back in and go, wow, look at this, is iodized salt. But now you've got 3 minerals in there, and you're still missing 81. So you can do better than that. It's just getting a normal, unrefined Australian sea
because
salt.
People tend to think, I think the problem is people tend to think, salt you can only find it in when you add it into your cooking, but it is in so many hidden foods that we find on the shelves, mostly packaged foods.
And that's the problem. So the packaged foods, the quality of the salt is very, very poor, right? Because companies they're going to skimp and they're going to buy the cheapest, most rubbish salt. And that's the stuff that they're going to use in hamburgers and patties and chips and pies and all that sort of stuff. So those foods are obviously rubbish, and then you add a really, really refined salt, then you are going to get into trouble. It's going to mess up your kidneys, it's going to mess up your arteries, it's going to mess up your blood pressure, it's going to do all that kind of stuff. But in an unrefined form, salt is incredibly important. And I spend a bit of time talking to patients about this, and here's a little story that I tell in clinic all the time, because I want people to understand that salt's important. In nature, you see animals, right? If you've ever watched David Attenborough movies in Africa, in his documentaries, he clearly shows that animals will go to where salt naturally comes out of the ground and lick the salt to get the minerals. And buffaloes do this, and rhinos do it, and lions do it, right? So it's a whole different array of any animals that can go there. Now, why do they do that? If salt was bad for you and you shouldn't have it, they wouldn't do that. They do that because there's no richer mineral source than just being able to access salt straight away and lick it off out of caves or wherever it's coming from.
So it's salts that are found in packaged food. That's the thing, because some of the I was reading that some of the salts are actually hidden in packaged food as preservatives. And you're probably not sure exactly what it is, but it'll be like they use it as a preservative, and then they change the names for whatever, and you don't know what it is. In canned soups, in canned packaged foods, fast foods, and before you know it, you're consuming a whole lot of salt.
Yeah. So salt is a problem if you have it refined and you're eating the foods that have very poor quality salt. Then you're going to get into trouble. But if you have a pink Himalayan salt, or you just have an unrefined sea salt, like what we have from here. So there's salts in celery.
Salts from whole foods.
So
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, sodium's a salt, calcium's a salt. There's all different types of salt. So when they're balanced, you're all good. When the balance is lost, well, then you're going to get into trouble. So
eat more of your whole foods, then you get quality nutrients, isn't it?
Well, yes, that's true. And have unrefined salt. That's important. So, the minimal refining you can possibly get. And that's why pink Himalayan salt is this colour, by the way. It's the minerals, it's the iron, it is the cobalt, which is the basis of actually building B12. That's what gives it the colour. So it is a lot more expensive than other salts, but salt doesn't cost that much anyway. So why not get a good quality one? But if you don't want to pay an extra $4 or $5, just get a normal unrefined sea salt.
Yeah,
that's completely fine.
Yeah.
And
so what does it do to the body that is bad for you if you're eating crappy salt? Just a little bit of basic of
well, there's 3 or 4 main things. One of the things that it can reportedly do is harden arteries. It can also raise your blood pressure, and it will affect your kidneys if you have too much of it. That's going to be a problem. Too much of a poor quality salt is going to be a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's really the main things. I mean, it'll do other things in time, because you're messing up your pH of your body and your blood, and you're going to age yourself. If you have just that sort of stuff, it's going to dry your body out and you're going to get into trouble.
Does drinking a lot of water help or not? I don't know.
It can help, but not as much as getting a good quality salt to begin with.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Because most people tend to think, you can wash out the salts with
you can
drinking lots of liquids.
You can wash out a lot of your electrolytes, which are salts. So if you drink 5 or 6 litres of water a day, that can be a problem, because you will wash out a lot of the nutrients in your body,
including.
Yes. So they're the important salts, and the magnesium basically, and the calcium you'll lose phosphorus, you'll lose a whole range of them, and this is partly why. This is how you can die, by the way, from having a water sculling competition. So people that used to do this, well, yeah, there's competitions where you drink water, and they realise quite quickly that people started dying after that. And the reason why is because you wash out all your electrolytes. You can put so much fluid into your body and get rid of all the salt, then you're in trouble.
I know lots of people who survive on that, but I guess you have to see the balance of it.
Yeah, there's a difference between drinking, 2 to 3 litres of water today, or have plant foods with plenty of water in, or trying to drink, 6 or 7 litres of water in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
That's different, isn't it?
It's very different. So don't do that. It's done.
Drown your organs.
That's not good.
All right. I think if you have any questions, or you want us to follow up on any of these, please just ask the questions in the video.
Yeah, that's a big topic, and it's an interesting topic. So we're going to look at that more because it keeps coming up. So I don't think that cooking, without any salt at all, cutting salt out of your diet is a good thing. I never recommend that. I think get a good quality salt and use it in moderation. Be smart, and then you're fine. You won't have any problems.
Yeah, I know. I love soy sauce, but it's so salty. Lots of
so if you have too much, you're going to be in trouble. Use tamari because it's organic.
I find myself when I eat that, I have a bit of a hard thing going on, but that's fine. That's another day.
Okay, well on that note, we will wrap this up. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. Salt's important. If you've got any questions, by all means, leave a comment.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a
good weekend.
And
we'll see you soon.
See you soon.